Well, yeah, and then ultimately, who buys the magazines? Who buys into this? Who watches it on television? We do, So so it's time that we stopped doing that. It's time that we took back control, and this is where it really belongs, Alex. Is that we, the people, have to recognize that we have responsibilities. And if we want a country of, by, and for the people, instead of one that's of, by, and for the elite, the corporations, et cetera, we've got to get off our butts and do something about it. And I think that's what you're calling for all the time. So it's one of the reasons I love being on your show, because
thank you.
You're inspiring and empowering people to do that. We need to do it more and more and more, because it's always been the way that change has happened.
I agree. But, John, what would you call that corporate attitude? I don't know the word for it, where they get off on being cold-blooded. They get off on not caring. They think it's silly. That's a very... That's
sociopathic.
Yeah, sociopathic.
And I think that at the top of a number of our corporations, we do have sociopaths, people who have basically no conscience, that don't care about what harm they bring to others. I think Jack Welch was a person like that, and I think Phil Knight at Nike is. But throughout the rest of the corporation, most of the other managers and people are not, and those are the ones we need to get to.
Well, absolutely. But, also we destroy our own world, not just environmentally, but culturally. This attitude, I see the local yuppies mimic it, and they're into laughing at bad things happening as if it doesn't touch them, when their kids are going to end up committing suicide or on drugs in this sick society.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange home gain gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com, HomeGain.com. Check them out today.
Trouble so hard, ooh, Lord, my trouble so hard, don't nobody know my trouble.
Me and John were just talking about all the websites and groups where you can find out about the sweatshop-free clothes and products that are becoming more and more popular. And it's those little choices that you think are little that really add up to big things. And then I hear these arguments about, if there's not a sweatshop, they wouldn't have any job. No, in every study I've seen, and Ross Perot covered this in the mid-'90s, it made the standard of living in Mexico go down, standard of living in Brazil go down, standard of living in Indonesia go down. It makes it go down. It does not make it go up. And it makes our standard go down. It's just, this globalization, the way they're doing it, is killing everything. Rusty in Texas, you're on the air with John Perkins. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. I just took Texas government this last year, and they talked about this thing called creative destruction. And creative destruction is supposed to be like a business gets so big that eventually it collapses on it within itself and goes broke, or the people quit buying the products because they just get tired of it. But I don't see how it can be fair to go and bail these companies out, basically giving them a new deal, because capitalism itself is like a live and let die kind of way of living, because one man's loss is another man's gain.
No, I hear you. Let me get a quick comment from John Perkins on that. I would just briefly say this is crony capitalism, and it's been said many times, where the risk is socialized, the profit is privatized, so it's not really capitalism. John Perkins.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. That's why I say it's what I'm calling a mutant form of capitalism, where it's all balanced in favor of a few very, very wealthy and powerful people. But we need to turn that around, and we can do that.
It's like going to a casino where you never win. It's totally rigged.
Yeah. But only because we allow it to be rigged. We can stop it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we can do it.
Well, we better, because, I mean, they're just feeding the whole world into their debt black hole. Ronnie in Texas, go ahead. You're on the air with John Perkins. Upcoming book, Hoodwinked. Go ahead.
Perkins, I lived for 9 months in poverty-ridden Peru under U.S. puppet Toledo, and it dawned on me there that would not absolute freedom, and I'm asking you, absolute freedom worldwide for farmers help cancel all continually counterproductive wars on behalf of illegal drug warlords that we're waging in Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Afghanistan, all over the world.
You're asking, how is the phony drug war? Well, I loved watching General Myers on TV last night explain how the occupation had made the opium production go way up. That's a good final comment from John Perkins. John?
Yeah. I mean, the farmers around the world have really been hit hard. They've been hit hard by what we call free trade agreements, where, it's absurd today that a Mexican farmer can produce cotton a lot more cheaply than a U.S. farmer, but you can buy U.S.-produced cotton in Mexico for a lot less of a price than Mexican cotton, simply because it's so subsidized in the United States for the big industries, and this has hurt the small farmer time and time again, whether it's cotton or corn or soybeans or whatever it is. The small farmer has been very, very screwed, and a lot of these people are now what we call terrorists because they've lost their farms. They have no way of feeding their family, and so they become part of organizations that are fanatical because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah, in Mexico, they'll just let you go die. In Mexico City, just die in your hut. No welfare system, and it's just hellish. Well, the new book's coming out, and we're going to interview you the day after it comes out, November 11th, coming up in a month and a half or so. John Perkins, best-selling author of Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It was great having you on. We'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
My pleasure, Alex. Keep up your good work.
You too. Appreciate you being on with us. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure and visit the video and bookstore for all my books and films at Infowars.com.